And welcome back to the next episode of the Farthest Thunder. I think we are on episode 9, and glad to have South back this week. And hopefully, Aiko will be able to join us before I wrap up with the recap. Uh, Diving straight in because we've got a lot of ground to cover tonight. Um, in our last session, the group escapes from the hollow and returned back to the Chimata-no-kami, the crashed SCV from the Great Mother mission, where Ezra, you discovered that there's only two main things that need to be repaired before you can make her functional again. One is the struts need to be repaired, and the materials for that can be found within Baxter's reach. And secondly, daughter remains offline. And just to be clear, daughter is not vital for you to fly this ship, but she does help you, especially if you're going faster than light. You definitely need her. And there are other certain things that you're kind of going to be very hindered without her help flying the ship. Oh, there's Aiko. Welcome. All right. So while Ezra's trying to figure out what the heck is wrong with daughter, Gideon, you notice that your sisters actually were at the crash site, apparently waiting for you, but are no longer there. Once you boarded the SEV, you recovered some video footage that would indicate, yes, they were there, kind of bored and waiting, when a mysterious hooded figure came and escorted them away. Through some tracking, you discovered that he escorted them apparently away to a waiting vehicle and whisked them away someplace, roughly in the direction of the neuroplasm plant. Uh, Also, want to remind you that Jarvis has been set free, with indications of some sort of black tarry substance in his stable. So while Gideon and Aiko remained on board reviewing video footage, he came across a startling discovery. Some tucked away little communications between Dr. Volkov and Elena Bauer of Baxter's Reach. Apparently, Elena was waiting for her. Um, South, during last episode, I just had you drinking coffee with Captain Lynn in the mess hall. So, um, yeah, you might be a little wired by now. So, in the meantime, Otmar and Mad Megs, you return back to Baxter's Reach in search of the required supplies to repair the ship. That would be steel and a vehicle with which you could use to possibly follow the tracks and recover Gideon's sisters. While you were in town, you had a run in with strange creature, which used to be Alex Turner. Now, some strange beast with long arms, almost translucent bluish skin, head elongated almost into a ball shaped uh, uh, mass, and incredible brutish strength. It took a number of rounds from Mad Mags's trusty weapon spade and a good old poke from Otmar's zapper to finally bring Alex down. Otmar, in the process, you were wounded slightly, but you managed to get out of it. You decided to burn the body. Megs, you went back to the hollow, where you found that Elena had escaped with a number of her allies down the same tunnels that you took to leave the hollow, but not before shooting Lucky Bastard in the foot. You decided to give chase, Megs, instructing one of your workers to tell Otmar where you had gone. You had Lockjaw with you. Lockjaw had gone back to Benji's capsule home where Andrea and Half Pint are waiting, where they'll load up the steel and then come back and pick you up and then head back to the ship. That was the plan. The Lockjaw and Half Pint don't know, Megs, that you have gone into the tunnels once more. Megs, after a bit of insightful thinking, you decided to pop up back to, in the center of town near the council chambers. The doors were mysteriously left open. You walk in. The building itself seemed abandoned and empty. In fact, the entire street and population of Baxter Street seems to have disappeared, strangely, aside from those that remain sheltered in the hollow itself. Megs, you made your way back to the vault at the back of the council chambers. Discovered that door also open. You rummaged about and discovered a strange refrigeration unit that had recently been opened, and within it, empty racks that once held some sort of test tube or vial. And as you are about to leave the vault, you heard a familiar voice coming from behind you as Elena Bauer stands at the door of the vault holding a gun at you. And that's where we start tonight. Scene set up here. Go. So Lockjaw and Otmar, you are still out on the street. I'm going to resolve Elena Brooks. I said Bauer, it's Brooks, sorry. My mistake. And Megs. So she has a gun on you, uh, Magnolia. You have your gun drawn as well. But she will get the first shot. And then we'll draw cards if you want to go into combat. But as she looks at you and says something to the effect of the cat dragged in, drop your gun, Megs.
Elena Brooks, are you sure you want to draw cards with me?
See my better hand.
You might, but you'll be bleeding chips before I'm done with you.
Doesn't have to end that way, Megs. Now, you and I, we've had our differences, but I think in our own ways, we care about the people of Baxter's Reach. You have your way, and I have mine. I need you to drop your gun. Don't put up a fuss.
Mags is not one to put Spade down. Just don't think. But she'll start to motion as if though she is. She'll have one arm held up. And as she's starting to lean down, she's got her revolver spade in the other hand. She'll start to slowly lean down. And she'll say something like, now, Suppose all the cards are on the table. Uh, Keep your cool, Lena. I'd be much obliged. And she's slowly moving down. Is Lena reacting?
Oh, she's just watching you with the gun. You can tell she's not used to holding one. She's holding it like in both hands. She doesn't need to, but she's holding it just to steady her hands as she points it at you. And she says, just need you to stay out of my business. Like just this one time. I'm doing this for Baxter's Reach. Gotta believe me.
Well, if you were, just this one time would probably be true. But you know, I've got a tickle in the back of my mind that this isn't just for Baxter's Reach.
What's what bee's gotten into your bonnet? I've never It was never my idea to shut your place down. I was always of the mind that you should turn a blind eye to your dealings if it kept peace in town. It was Sam kept pushing. And with the majority of the votes on the council, I had to oblige. I never had ill feelings towards you, Megs. I might not have approved of your methods, but I never meant harm. Now I see you here in the vault of the council chamber where, curious, why are you here, Megs? What are you looking for?
Well, I'd say I found it. Looking square at it. But here we go. And she actually will put the gun down. She'll stay hunched low, start to slowly rise up, but she does put the revolver down.
You can see Elena visibly relax a little, but she still has the gun on you.
So, I think we might want to learn to trust each other then. What do you say? Put yours down as well. And we could talk this through. Sounds like you got a story to tell.
Megs, can you make a manipulation check for me, please? It's going to be contested, so I'll roll for hers. The tie. You have the option to push if you like. All right. With the extra success, you see Elena. Fine. Let's talk. And she lowers the gun. She's still holding it in her hands, but she just lowers it. She's not pointing it at you.
Now, I think Mags would have heard about. I'm pretty sure Mags heard about the collusion, I guess, with the other ship, right?
See there. I can't recall when Gideon and Aiko radioed Otmar. Did Otmar have a chance to tell Megs? No. Okay. So, yeah, Megs, you don't know.
Oh no. Okay.
All you know is that she shot Lucky Bastard and made escape through the tunnels.
You did set out looking for her, though, right?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
So, saying, I thought you and your friends had already hightailed it out of town. Why are you back here? Why are you looking in the vault?
Might have something to do with your trigger finger, Elena. Might have
You're.
something to do with that.
I'm sorry about that. Your goons were not cooperating, so I had to make an example.
Mm. And we're back at goons, are we? Ah, Helena, you have never really known how to make friends, have you? She's gonna start slowly. Mag's gonna start slowly walking towards her. That said, I'm here to make friends now.
See Elena take a couple of steps back away from you retreating. And she says, so, Megs, whatever it was that you were looking for in that vault, is gone. It's safe.
Define safe.
It won't fall into the hands of any off-worlder.
Now, before we left, I had told staff to go let Otmar know, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So actually, we'll segue to that then. As Otmar, you finish burning this body out in the streets, um, gathered a small crowd of the staff from the Hollow watching. They're all kind of whispering to each other, "What the hell is that? Is that what killed? What's his face? I don't know. They killed a couple of your guys. I can't remember their names. Um,
Don't know what it was. Never seen the likes of it before. But I worry we're going to see it again.
going to take your panic level down to 0 and remove that status from you. That time to cool down. Well, Miss Magnolia told us to tell you that she's gone into the tunnel. She's looking for Elena. Elena shot Lucky Bastard.
Hmm. Do you know where Mags thought Elena might be?
That I don't know. All I know is she went into the tunnels to go looking for her.
Well, thank you for the message.
You're mighty welcome, Mr. Otmar. Um,
Do you want to come with me? What's your plan?
well, Miss Magnolia said she would be back for us.
Is the vehicle ready?
Yeah, Lockjaw already drove the vehicle back to Benji's place, so he's not there anymore.
Okay, got it. And did these guys come from Benji's place or somewhere else?
Oh, they came from the Hollow.
From the Hollow. Got it. Got it.
Yeah, you're just basically about a block away from the Hollow
right.
where you are.
So as far as Otmar's not going to go through the tunnels, but as far as places on the surface that he's aware of, like the exit of the town, like Benji's place, like the council chambers, what is close to him, or what would be on the way to Benji's place?
I'll make a roll for this.
Because that's, I think, the direction he'd head, unless there was some.
Yeah. I'll
Think you
let
want to
you
check out
roll
nearby.
an observation check just to see if you can, or survival, one of those two, to figure out which where you think Megs would have gone.
All right.
All right. The two successes, you have a good idea that Megs went after Elena, and Elena probably did not go towards the ship. Probably stayed in town, and her being the now de facto council leader once more, she might have gone back there. So,
Yeah.
s-
So that's a good. It's a good line of reasoning. He's gonna stop by the council chambers and look for any signs of um, activity or trails.
all right. So I'll say that by the time Elena and Megs have had this conversation, Megs has had some time to search the vault, came out, encountered Elena. They've had this conversation, and about that time, Otmar, you kind of arrive outside the front doors of the council chambers, and you can hear voices inside.
All right. So he would try to quietly either find out who's in there or find a way to get in or a line of sight.
Right. I'll give you a make. You have to make a mobility check for that. I'll give you a +1 modifier, just because of the situation where Elena focuses on Megs. All right, not a problem. So you are quiet, very careful not to make any noise as you peek into the doors. She does not notice you. You see Elena holding a gun in her hand, not pointed at Megs, just kind of down, pointed at the floor, and Meg stepping out of the vault, walking towards her, unarmed.
All right. He was going to be very still. No, it wouldn't try to be hidden from Mag, so more silent than invisible. Um, and if he thought he could get closer to Elena quietly, he would do that. Or if he felt like it would be better to stop and let the thing play out, he might do that.
That extra success, I'll let you move to within close range of Elena
All right.
without her noticing. And her back is to you. Megs, you can see Otmar walking through the door very stealthily.
So he would attempt to grapple her.
All right, so she cannot resist. So go ahead and make that close combat check because she has no idea you're there. Rush in and grab her. All right. With the extra success, you managed to grapple her. And yeah, she's still holding onto the gun though. The
Mhm.
gun, you wouldn't have needed another success to make her drop the gun. Um, yeah, she's now held and she said, what's going on here?
It's time to drop the gun before somebody gets hurt.
She quickly drops the gun. Says, I wasn't planning on using it. I just wanted to talk to Megs. And you.
I
There's no
think
need
that
for
there's a
violence
whole
here.
lot of people that want to talk to you. Why don't you come with us now?
What do you mean? Who wants to talk to me?
There's questions what need answering. That's all you need to know right now. Not going to talk about it here. Come on. What's
She
Mags
looks
doing as this happens?
Mags has a bit of a grin, and she might say something like, "You know, you're a real ace there, Mr. Ettinger. Thank you for that. Save me the dirty work." And she pulls out a switchblade that she like twirls in her hands, and then puts it back into her pocket. She'll walk over, pick up spade, spin it around, holster it, uh, and say, "I suppose we should make
What?
leave."
Why don't you pick up that other piece? South usually needs a spare.
Absolutely.
And then they would start, I think, walking back to Benji's place with her subdued. And I don't know how cooperative she's being.
Yeah, she's not
Um,
gonna fight. She knows she's like an elderly woman. You're
yeah.
a big strapping man, so she's not gonna.
Yeah.
All right. And she's got a cold-blooded killer gun behind her shoes.
Right. Right.
All right. So I'm gonna go back to the crash site. South. You are sitting in the mess hall, across a round table from Captain Lin, drinking coffee. You guys were having a bit of a staring contest for a little while until she got bored. And you can just see her just kind of like playing with her cup, just kind of whistling a little, looking around. Just, how long gonna keep me here?
The cooperative leader that Ezra killed, what was his name?
General, hold on. Oh, Major. Major Zhao Xian.
What would I tell you if I told you? I'm going to butcher the name, so I'm just going to say the major. The major's dead. No one's coming to get you.
She looked. What do you mean the Major's dead?
No one's coming to get you.
He came to Baxter's Reach.
He came and then went.
Wait, did he go or is he dead?
I mean, like, he went as in he's no longer, he's unalived.
You can see that she's clearly agitated now. Like what do you mean he's dead? How did the Beatles get him?
No, no, it wasn't the Beatles.
Killed him.
I'll give you that if you work with us. There's something out there, or was something out there that was one of us, but it's no longer one of us. Something is
You're
going on out
talking
there.
in riddles, man. One of us, not one of us. What's going? Who killed the Major?
Ezra killed the major. He's done. But
And
that's
she gets up from the table, attempts to walk out.
you can walk out, you can leave, you can go out that door. But I'm telling you, there's
No, I'm not going out the door. I'm going to kill that son of a bitch.
you're not going anywhere. As far as I'm concerned, we are now on the same team because there are
right.
things outside of that door
She
that are
attacks you,
not.
South. He just
All
gives
right.
you a tramp. He gives you a swift kick to the face. So make a contested close combat check for me, please.
Three.
Want to push yours?
Yeah, why not?
Okay. Oh my gosh, you did it.
Ow.
Oh my
Take the
gosh.
stress.
All right, so she attempts to kick you and just kind of, you can just see the foot come up and just get almost like a roundhouse, and he's just stuck out of the way just in time. But she's coming after you. We're going to be drawing cards for this. Her. Combat here with her. Go ahead and draw. Right, you're first. What would you like to do?
Did I drop everything? No, I still have one service pistol.
Yeah, it is holstered right now though. It would be a fast action to draw it.
I'm just gonna try to. Let me just try to tackle her.
All right. You can tell that she's highly trained in martial arts. So it's like,
I think Seth at this point would be more worried about trying to keep as many humans alive as he could at this point, since everybody's seems to be turning into things.
yeah. Go ahead and make your close combat check. She will resist. Oh, 2 successes on your roll. Oh my gosh, and you beat her. Um, you can do like you've done 1 point of damage. You can do another, or you can use that extra success to grapple her.
I'm just gonna try to grapple her.
Right. So she take. Well, actually, this is you. Um, can you describe how you do this? What kind of move you made?
As her foot comes up, I'm just gonna grab it and then just throw her straight on the ground. And
All right.
try to, we really need to talk, Captain. Like, just calm down. I know we're both keyed up on coffee, but
All right. She's yelling at the top of her lungs, "Get the fuck off me. I'm going to kill that fucking simp." And the rest of you up in the cockpit, the entire ship hears this. You can all hear Captain Lin yelling, "Bloody murder, wanting your head, Ezra."
I don't think you understand. Ezra is our only way off of this place, and we need to get out of here right now.
Those folks in the cockpit who hear this, what would you guys like to do?
Ezra will momentarily look up from his keyboard, see that there's no one in the room, and then go back, putting his attention at the keyboard.
Aiko's gonna bury his head in his hand and be like, "Why is she not in her cell?"
Wait, there's cells here? Hang on, I want to go check this out. I guess Gideon's gonna go and see because he's curious.
Gideon starts wheeling down the hallway.
Such a bad idea. Oh well.
All right, yeah. You see basically South sitting on Captain Lin.
I have a lot of questions, but I'm gonna just leave you two and just go back up to the cockpit.
There are some crew members that have come. Carl, one of them, kind of rushed as well to the mess hall and look at you, South, and Captain Lin, and they look at you, South, again. "Are you okay, sir? Do you need any help? We'll restrain her for you if you like."
No, I would love to just sit here and rest with her. Yes, please, someone restrain her. Any kind of help would be nice.
All right. Carl motions for a couple of other guys to come and they grab her, kind of like with the 2 arms, and she realizes she can't outpower like 3 or 4 people now, so reluctantly gets back into her chair. "I'll fucking kill you all. Dead. You're all walking dead."
Just need to know, what was the cooperative doing here? What was the real reason behind y'all coming here?
It's what we're always here for. Yeah, and you want to know what something? You don't want to know something here? It was me. It was me that kept you poor dirt farmers alive all these years. If we were up to the major, he would have had you all in the slave pits by now.
Yeah. It's not up to the major now, is it? You're going to keep on, you're going to end up like him. I'm going to bring Ezra down here and I'm going to let him do it.
Bring him.
You don't
Hang on.
you don't understand, Major or Captain, what's out there, do you?
You know what? I'm done with you. I'm done with you little turds. I'm sick of this. I lost my ship. I lost my crew. Now you're telling me my major's dead? What happened?
Your ship and your crew. I lost my entire family. I lost an entire town, place where I grew up, where I lived. Two can play this game if you really want to go there.
What are you gonna do with me?
My plan was to see if we could work together and come to some kind of agreement to get out of here.
Why would I want to work with the people who
Because
have
you're not
kept me
going
a
to stay
prisoner?
here. What are you going to do? You're going to stay here? The more of us there are alive, the better our chances are against whatever is going on out there. And you're pretty good at hand to hand. So we need somebody who's capable of fighting. We don't. I mean, look at us. We need you. I'll admit that. We do.
Make a manipulation check. I'll give you a +1 modifier on that. Do you want to push your roll?
Yeah, why not?
So she looks at you, her eyes go hard. An eye for an eye. Before we're straight here, and I help you. Give
You
me
know I
the
can't do that.
fucking pilot.
Ezra's the only way out of here.
I can fly a ship.
Better than a synth?
What is the synth good for anyway?
Can't do that.
It'll be a fair fight, I promise.
It's not a fair and unfair. It's irrelevant at this point. Ezra's too important. I can't let you do that.
There's no deal. But you better tell that synth that he better sleep with one eye open from now on, because as long as I'm on this ship, only
That's
one
fair.
of us is coming off of here alive.
I can't kill you because I feel like there's still a lot of explaining to do. She has not seen what Alex had turned into at all, did she? Because she's been on the ship the whole time.
Exactly. She's seen the poppers, and
No.
that's it.
I'm telling you, Captain, you see what's out there. You're gonna be singing a different tune, I promise you.
I don't care about what's out there. I care about what's right now and what he has done to my commanding officer. And honor and justice demands his death.
Would there be enough time for South to bring her to the body of Alex that they're burning?
You could start making your way towards Baxter's Reach, yeah. The remains are still smoldering in the street, so
Yeah, but then she's gonna try something. I can feel it. South will just kind of shake his head and go up. You'll see. You'll see. And he's just gonna kind of turn away and make his way back up to the or she's gonna make sure she's restrained
yeah.
and make his
Yeah,
way to the bridge.
They tie her up with some loose cables.
Okay.
All right. So those of you in the cockpit, after this, you hear this ruckus. Ezra, you're laser focused on Trying
But
to
I
get
did
daughter
pick my
with
head
it.
up momentarily. I mean, it was clear that she threatened Ezra,
Yes.
right? I mean, that was
Yes.
unmistakable. All right, so yeah, nothing you can do about it. He stays focused, but mental tick mark. Keep an eye out for Captain Lin.
Is there anything else that you guys want to research while or do on the ship before I go back? Eggs and all.
I get, while I'm at the bridge, can I try to? Does anyone know anything? Like, how much do we know about the captain?
Say pretty much nothing.
Then South will go to. Is Aiko the only one not doing anything on the bridge, but writing
We
citations?
on the bridge. Aiko was teaching Gideon how to
Mm-hmm.
some computer skills. So
Okay.
Gideon was searching logs, and given his wheelchair state, figured he'd expand his education a little bit and career opportunities. So Gideon was learning some computer skills from Aiko. So maybe
Okay.
Gideon could search ship logs or personnel databases for Captain Lin.
Yeah. So then South will walk up to Aiko and Gideon, and I got some that'll give you a little practice with computer skills. You mind doing me just quick little favor and seeing what we can find about the captain? I need to know how important she is and what she's good for, because may have a little problem, just small problem down there.
Was that why you were sitting on her when went down there?
Yeah, it may have been my fault just a little bit. I may not have told her that Ezra killed the major. She's a little miffed about that.
I can imagine. Honestly, that makes a lot more sense than what I was thinking in my head. Yeah, let's look up what's going on with her.
Now, South, let me just correct a small grammatical flaw in what you requested. You referred to her as a captain. I want to clarify something. These people are insects. Insects do not have ranks. So, please, let's not call the little fly a captain.
Can you get me any information on the little fly / bug or insect?
So I have a meta question. What would we have would we even have any information on like individual people on the planet? Would that be on the ship's logs? Like that doesn't at first
Oh, you
glance,
wouldn't know. You would know her organization that she belongs to, and that's really about it.
The long data disk, would that have anything?
It could. Where's the long data disk?
Well, it means I can't kill her yet.
It's on Gideon's lap for a while. I don't know. Where did we put it? I thought we hooked it up to something.
I mean, why don't we actually? Well, so actually, that's what maybe Aiko's gonna do. So while South is talking about something, Aiko's just gonna put his like finger right to his lips and be like, "The data disk. We've got to find out what's on that data disk."
I think Carl put it away someplace.
I agree.
Yes.
I think we
I
sort
think
of
so.
stacked.
I knew it made it to the ship, but I don't remember what happened after that.
Aiko's gonna press his finger on the comm. Carl, get in here!
You don't have to yell, man.
Also, why do your fingers taste weird?
Why'd you taste his fingers?
He put it on my mouth. Don't do that.
You are
You
so weird.
hear Carl like running up to the cockpit, a little out of breath. Yeah. What can I do?
I need a data disk now.
Oh,
Please.
it's right here. And he kind of opens up a little closet just outside the cockpit, and I just I didn't know what it was or where to put it, so I just leaned it up in there.
Can I do a comms check to see if I notice anything about the interface, about maybe if there's any type of like USB hub like thing I can plug it into that I would.
Oh, you don't need to make a comp check. You can see.
Oh.
It's a pretty standard. You can hook it up to.
Okay.
You can find a way to hook up to it.
Is Ezra within earshot of this?
Yep. You're all there.
Carl, do not take orders from that person. Do you understand?
Yes, Captain.
Carl, how do we spell your last name again? I'm pulling up a citation form, and I just want to make sure I get all the letters right.
It's from FROMM.
He's gonna see like huge boxes like insubordination check.
Hey, Akko.
Failure to communicate check. Like all these check boxes are appearing.
Hey, Akko, quick question. How many of those sheets do you have? Because I've seen you pull a new one out about every 5 minutes. And where the hell are you keeping them?
Probably where he keeps his fingers.
Yes, sir. Captain Ezra, where would you like me to keep this? I'll bring it down to engineering.
I was already just gonna grab it. I'll do a contested check of it.
It is quite big.
And that is the extent of
big.
Ezra's broken concentration. He's back to cracking daughter. So yeah, and Ezra remembers that he did gift it to Otmar. What is on this is yours, so it doesn't belong to Aiko. But yeah, that was the extent of his broken concentration while he's trying to fix daughter.
All right, Aiko, you can wrestle Carl over.
Well, can I use a command check to be like, plug it in over there now, despite what Ezra said? I'm going to roll for it.
Definitely go ahead and make that command check.
Boom. If Ezra wants to contest it, though, I'll allow it. Like, if he wants to be like...
Nope.
Nope.
I'm concentrating on daughter.
All right. You can see Carl just kind of standing there, motionless, totally confused, looking at Captain Ezra, who's not responding to him anymore as he's focusing on daughter, looking back at you, Aiko.
I'm like hovering my finger over the like recommend termination checkbox. Plug it in. Now.
And he just kind of lugs the long data disk over towards you, kind of leans it up against the console, and says, "I'll just leave it here."
Yeah, Carl. Maybe I can hook it up. Jesus Christ, Aiko, can you shut up for about 5 minutes?
And Carl just kind of slowly backs out of the room. And you can hear him run away.
One more thing.
Oh my God.
Pokes his head back in.
Now.
Poor Carl.
Can you stop bullying Carl? Good God.
You can just hear Carl saying,
Turns Carl into a coffee boy.
I was top of my class in space aerodynamics.
Good, then you can make a pot of caffeinated. Go.
Carl, don't do that. Aiko's just being stupid. Don't do it.
He kind of.
Would you want some tea instead?
You can hear him heading towards the mess hall.
Oh.
All right, so you guys want to plug in the long data disk?
Hell yeah.
Yeah, might as well.
Okay, I need one of you to make a comm tech check for me, please.
That
if you can access the data.
Specialty.
I only have a 2 in tech. I can do it.
Sorry, there we go.
There you go. All right. So can you tell me Aiko's state of mind as he the verge of panic creeps up him?
So first he starts like plugging it in, but you know how you do the thing with the USB stick and you plug it in and you're like, oh, it's the other side. But then that also doesn't work. And so you see him like jamming it, and then he's finally just like, oh wait, it's a USB stick. He like finally plugs it in to the completely other slot and it powers on. But like he's definitely damaged the port in such a way that if we pull it out, it might not so easily. It'll go into that port, but no other port.
Right. Nicely done, Aiko.
Gideon's just gonna lean over to South and be like, Has he always been like this, or am I just noticing how weird he is?
God, I hope not.
All right. So the long data disk is a record of everything that has happened at Baxter's Reach for the past 75 years. So you would expect reams of pages and pages and pages and like billions of terabytes of data to come up. Instead, you maybe have 1 meg. And a lot of it is like kind of mundane stuff. But the first entry there is dated May 12th, 2179. Not that far in the past. And it says entry by an unknown colonist, and it's half damaged because you can't tell who made this entry. And it reads, "They came out of nowhere. Gorham's marauders, they call themselves. Mercenaries or pirates, I'm not sure. But they weren't here for plunder, not in the way you'd expect. They didn't want our supplies or tech or even our lives. They wanted data. They stormed the comm center, wiped out every last bit of navigational and communication data we had. They even managed to wipe out large chunks of the data from the long data disk somehow. Why? What are they trying to hide? And when they left, they didn't take anything, but they made sure we were cut off completely. We're alone again, more than ever." And the next significant entry, dated the following year, October 3rd, 2180, entered by Council Member Elena Brooks. "We've made contact with an organization that call themselves the Cooperative. At first, we thought they were here to help, but now I'm not so sure. They're offering supplies, yes, but at a price. They want our loyalty, our resources, and our submission. Some of the colonists are all for it. They're calling themselves simps, like it's some kind of badge of honor. But the rest of us, we're wary. We've survived this long on our own. We really need to trade one master for another." And then the third and final entry of importance, also by Elena Brooks, 5 years later, on June 15th, as the simps are gaining power, and Sam has thrown his support behind them. They're pushing for full cooperation with the Cooperative. Council is losing control. I see it in the faces of the colonists. They're tired, desperate. They want security, and they think the Cooperative can give it to them. I can't blame them, but I fear what it means for our future. The original council is all but gone now, and with it, the last of our independence. What will we become under the Cooperative's rule? I've moved what's left of the vials into the vault to keep them safe. I only hope that the UPP arrives in time."
Is Aiko able to check if is it that there's only 1 megabyte of like actual data and the rest is like either encrypted or corrupted, or literally the memory only has 1 megabyte of data total?
It would seem like that first entry was half corrupted, so you couldn't recover the name of who entered it. It seems as though somebody, for the records before that, it's almost as if someone uh, did a really brute force hack to try and purge that data, but you could still see remnants of it here and there. And with another Comtech check, you might be able to recover more of it. You will need a total of 3 successes, though, to recover all of it.
Oh, what? Oh. I'll
There
just
you go.
start like hacking away, and I'll be like, Ezra, you know how to work with like floppy disks and crap like that. This is some old technology.
Ezra ignores him.
Wait, Akko, can I try and give it a shot?
Aiko's just gonna like push your chair forward. Have at it, kid.
Well, Aiko, you did get one success. Or did you? Hold on. Yeah, you got
Yeah.
one success. You're not pushing this one?
Well, I'll let Gideon go for it.
Yeah. So with that one success, go ahead and roll a d8 for me. See which
Me?
piece of data you managed to recover. Yeah.
All right.
Recover an entry dated July 13th, 2115. This is just a few years after the isolation began. It's from somebody named Prospector Kyle Thorne. And it reads, I've done it. I found something out there in the grasslands about 100 kilometers west of town. A substance unlike anything I've ever seen. It's thick, black, like tar. But it moves. Like it's alive. I brought a sample back, and the lab techs are going crazy trying to figure out what this thing is. Thinking this could be the break we need. Something put Baxter's reach on the map again to give us a bargaining chip when the middle heavens finally get their act together. They never do. It's the end of that entry.
Echo's gonna look down for a second. He's starting to connect the dots. And he's thinking about that log entry, what we saw at the abandoned factory, the black goo, the beetles. He's starting to feel like there's something to do with the cooperative doing something with this black goo. It's some sort of something for them. Aiko's gonna turn to South. This insect captain that you're so friendly with, do you think she knows more than what she's been telling you about the cooperative? Do you think you could pull some information out of her?
It's what I was trying to do before things got violently out of hand.
Aiko's gonna put his finger up. Can I run and see if I have any more of my like special liquor?
Hold on. Did you drink it all, Sal?
I don't think so. We were drinking coffee, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so probably not.
All right, so maybe Aiko will just give him the rest of that bottle. Be like, "You tried this?"
I don't think that's gonna be enough. I think the only thing that's really gonna tamper that would probably be Ezra's head or hand or some kind of body part.
I'm okay with that.
I somehow expected nothing less. But we're not going to do that. I can't believe I even have to tell you that. Well, actually, I can. Yeah, that checks out, actually.
We need to know what she knows about what that factory was doing.
I don't think she would know. If anyone would know, it would probably be Elena.
I think we get Elena and her
Mm.
in the same room and have a chat. Have what my dad used to call a come to Jesus meeting.
What you guys know about Jesus?
Gideon, did you want to make that contact check to see if you can
Yeah, sure. Give it a
get
shot.
some more data out of here? All right, you guys got a total of 3 successes. You guys managed to Gideon, I mean, found your calling. This is
Aiko went to like lean in to tell her like that's not how you access the. Oh my God! What the hell?
I don't know what I did, but it's working apparently.
Aiko, you might want to put in for retirement.
All right, so bit of a lore dump here. I'm going to be sharing all this with you after I read this out. But yeah, just strap in. So March 15th, 2111, first entry. Council member Elias Grayson. The day started like any other, with the endless grind of maintaining the colony. Today, everything changed. We lost contact with the middle heavens. One moment, the comms are buzzing with the routine check-ins, and the next, silence. It was as if the entire galaxy had disappeared, leaving us alone out here at the edge of the universe. The council is scrambling to make sense of it. Did something happen on their end? Or is it us? I keep thinking about the children. How do you explain to them that we might never hear from Earth again? And so this date coincides with the beginning of the isolation. Next entry, and there are tons of entries in between, but it's going to take you a bit of time to sift through them to decipher out the more important or salient ones. The next one occurs April 27th, 2112, the following year, by Dr. Miriam Park, Chief Medical Officer. She says, the colony is on edge. Supplies are running low and tempers are running high. Today, I treated 3 colonists for injuries sustained during a brawl over rations. It's getting harder to keep the peace. The council is enforcing stricter rationing protocols, but I fear it's only a matter of time before the things starts to spiral out of control. People are scared, and when they're scared, they're dangerous. I've seen it before in the Outer Rim colonies. We need a plan or we'll tear ourselves apart before anything else gets the chance. And then the third entry is from the Prospector that I read out to you already. Fourth entry is July 30th, 2115, from Council Member Elias Grayson again. And he says, the plague is here. It started with Kyle, of course. He was the first to die, but not before spreading whatever the hell he brought back with him. People are losing their minds. Quite literally, they're turning violent, attacking anyone near them before they just collapse. Their bodies change, twist into something grotesque. It's the black goo, there's no doubt about it. We've isolated the rest of the sample, but it's too late for most of us. The streets are empty now, save for the corpses. God help us, what have we done? Next entry, February 22nd, 2116, again by Dr. Miriam Park, Chief Medical Officer. We've secured the black goo in the vault. The council has decreed that no one is to touch it ever again. Too many lives have been lost because of it. I can't stop thinking about the screams, the terror in their eyes before they changed. Those of us who survived are scattered, hiding in whatever corners we can find. The council is doing its best to keep things together, but I don't know how much longer we can last like this. The goo is locked away, but the memories won't leave. And next entry, October 14th, 2118, again by Elias Grayson. Frank, our chief scientist, has vanished along with several samples of the goo. I don't know what's worse, that Frank was our best hope at understanding this nightmare, or that the goo is now unaccounted for. How did this happen? Frank was a synthetic programmed to follow orders, to protect us, but something changed. There were signs, I see that now, subtle glitches in behavior, moments where Frank seemed almost human. We've scoured the colony, but there's no trace. It's like Frank just disappeared into thin air. Council is in a panic. Without Frank, without understanding, we're blind. And now there's a terrifying possibility that whatever drove Frank to take the samples could lead to something even worse. And then the last lost entry, August 9th, 2120, again by Elias Grayson. It's been over 4 years since the plague, and just when I thought we might have a chance to rebuild, something else has started. A few weeks ago, the neuroplasm plant began malfunctioning, systems failing for no apparent reason, accidents that can't be explained. And then the sightings started. People are talking about a hooded figure always on the outskirts, watching. Some people think it's Frank, and I didn't believe it at first, but now I'm not so sure. Today we made the decision to shut the plant down. Too many lives have been lost already. Can't risk another disaster with this figure. Whoever or whatever it is, I have a feeling we haven't seen the last of them. That's it, and I'll share these journal entries. That's all the pertinent data you can get from the data disk. See them in your handouts now.
Nicely done, kid. You're a natural.
Oh shit.
I'm going to quickly shift back to Megs and Otmar back in town. You guys mull on that. You make your way back to Benji's home with Elena. You see Lockjaw and Half Pint loading up the vehicle with like these large sheets of metal and I-beams. You see Andrea loading up the back with like a travel bag sorts, and Benji's body has been kind of laid outside and is covered, waiting to be as well.
So as they're kind of walking, approaching, Mags has got a cigarette she's been smoking now for a bit. And she'll look at Otmar and say, you know, Mr. Ettinger. And she'll take a drag. You know how I run things. Keep a tight ship in the hollow. But I'm not sure they treat the vault the same way. When I was in there, something's gone missing. And Elena here, she might flick some ash towards Elena. She knows exactly what, and I think she knows where. And she'll look at Mr. Ettinger and say, I don't like playing guessing games. What do you think?
I think you're probably right. I don't think now's the time to elicit any answers, though. Maybe we get her back to the ship with us and help convince her we're her only way off this rock. But she might have other plans. Based on what we're hearing about her, it seems to go deep. So he would convey any additional information he had about her at that point.
Communication with Volkov before you landed, before the ship landed.
Yeah.
My gut said something along those lines, and she'll look at Elena and say something like, I think you're just gonna have to tell everyone what's missing, or we'll find out exactly what you're willing to lose.
She stops dead in her tracks. A look of defiance crosses her face, and she spreads her arms around, and she looks around at this devastated town and says, "We've lost everything already, Megs. I'm just trying to get our asses out of here in one piece. And if it means hiding those vials as a ticket off this rock, that's what I'll do."
Who's paying? Who you paying with that ticket?
Whoever can help people at Baxter's Reach.
There ain't a bunch of, drop shits up there like a taxi stand. We kind of got what we got. So, I mean, I know you got a plan. What's your plan, Lena?
I want to keep what's in those vials is dangerous.
That's right. We agree.
And I don't want it falling into the wrong hands. And she's staring directly at you, Megs, when she says this.
So where are the vials then? Where's the safe place? Safer than the safe, yeah?
Well, everybody kind of knew that the vault held things that meant to be protected, so I took the initiative and moved them.
And they're just good from here on out? I thought you said they were our ticket. Your ticket off this.
I need guarantees first.
What kind of guarantees you talking about?
Guarantees that whoever takes us off this planet will take everyone. And that they
How does that even
trusted
work?
with this.
Do we just nobody leaves until we have enough ships for everybody? Is that the plan? Don't you think if some of us left, we could go get some more ships maybe sooner than just waiting and hoping?
Then maybe I'll just hold on to those vials until all those ships come then.
Maybe you will. Maybe those vials are already gone.
I doubt that very much.
You're very sure of yourself.
I certainly strateger.
I admire that.
High
So
risk, high reward.
You want those vials, Megs? Honestly, I think I would rather let this town burn than let you have them. I saw what you did to Dr. Volkov back there.
I don't think Mags wants the vials. I don't want the vials. I want to know who does want them.
I had a deal. I had a deal with Dr. Volkov.
To the UPP.
He said the UPP would be able to protect Baxter's Reach from the cooperative in exchange for the vials.
Now we're getting somewhere.
But you have summarily executed that plan single-handedly, Megs. And now we find ourselves in a little bit of a bind.
I think we were in a bind to begin with. I think your bargain wasn't quite what you thought it was. Now, you say I shouldn't have these vials, or as if though I have any clue what they contain. Does she? Like, would she have an idea of what these
Megs.
things are?
All right, how old is Megs?
She's about, call it 60.
Let me check the journal entries, see how old you are when the plague hit. Um, five. Yeah, you would not have been born during the plague. You would have been born after, about 10 years after the plague. So you might have heard stories of it. Maybe stories that your parents would have told you to keep kids in line, kind of thing. Just, behave, or the black ghoul gets you, kind of thing.
We wouldn't have any idea what these vials were. I don't aspire to take these things. I don't even know what they are. Elena, you're the only one with the holding those cards, I'll say that.
There was data on that long data disk. At one point, anyway. You would have recalled Gorm's Marauders arriving, though, about be 7, 8 years ago now. When they came, they didn't take anything. They just kind of basically walked into the vault, wiped out the data up until that point, and then left. And the comm units, all that scrambled. Before Gorm's Marauders came, there was evidence in the long data disk of how dangerous those vials are. It was the cause of the plague that almost destroyed us, this community, this colony, 70 years ago. I won't allow just anyone to have that kind of power again.
Well, we better get to it. So the status is we've got steel loaded on this thing. Are we good to go? So
You are good to go. By now, Half Pint and Lockjaw have loaded everything up. They've gently placed Benji's corpse in the back, and Andrea's going to sit there back there with him. It's a pretty heavily loaded Jeep, but you can make it back.
Funeral procession.
hanging off the side kind of thing.
Yeah. Are you taking Elena with you?
Oh, I think we are.
Yeah.
All right.
We'll give her a nice VIP seating, in fact.
Strap her to the hood.
She gets shotgun.
Okay. All right. So you're all back across site now. You guys have finished reading the long data disk. You can see off in the distance a small dust cloud appearing as a Jeep approaches from Baxter's reach. In the vehicle, as you look out through the cockpit window, you can see the Jeep laden with steel, and there are at least a couple of extra bodies in this Jeep coming back with them. In Elena and Anne. So you're all back. What would you guys like to do?
Come on, let's get this unloaded. Otmar will start unloading the stuff and getting the crew what they need and trying to put the vehicle, park it somewhere discreet.
Yep. Problem? As you're all kind of boarding the ship, you kind of have to walk past the mess hall where Captain Lin is now tied up. South, did you want to have a conversation with her again, or?
Yeah, but I want to have Elena there too. I'll wait till she gets loaded up.
Right. One last thing, Ezra, with your laser focus on trying to figure out what the heck is going on with daughter, can you please make a comm check?
All right. With my new, what are they called? Features or feats? My new talent. I get a +2 intense focus, +2 modifier. So let's do Comtech. And +2.
Okay.
3 successes.
3 successes. That's good enough to bring daughter back online. But not only do you manage to bring her back online, but you also discover what happened to her in the first place. It would seem daughter received a directive from Wayland Yutani to shut down.
And that pops up on the screen. Ezra will slowly, he turns, peers over his shoulder, see what Aiko's up to.
Yes, robot, what do you want?
Come over here.
What is it?
Ezra will point to the screen. My ship's system was taken out by your company. Here's the proof.
I will say with your third success there, Ezra, you notice an encoded message. When daughter reboots, it was not there before, and it is for Aiko.
I'll hit display. I'll decode the message with Aiko looking over my shoulder.
You cannot. This will require a separate contact check because only his credentials will be able to decode it.
Oh, well, fuck that. I'm gonna try to hack it then. Can I can I contact it?
Yeah, this is going to be a difficult one, so you're going to need multiple successes.
Oh my god!
Yeah, this is
That's
heavily
so many
encrypted.
dice. So many dice.
heavily encrypted.
Aiko, decode your message now.
Do I have like a password that I would know to use?
Yeah, you have your own passkey that you can use. Crypt it.
I'm gonna like pull out my little like password keychain thing. I'm just gonna give it to Ezra.
All right, I'll get the little dongle, right? I'll get the little code off the dongle and I'll type it into the.
Two-factor authentication. Right?
Yeah,
There you go.
exactly. Yeah.
Okay. So Aiko, you pass your key, Ezra. Ezra, you decrypt the message, and Aiko is rather short but direct. And it says, "There's evidence of UBP influence on Baxter's Reach. They are hiding advanced scientific biological research. Attain it at all costs. This is your primary mission. All other directives are secondary."
Ezra will look at Aiko. Did you know about this?
I wish they would have told me this sooner. I would have played the game totally differently. God damn it, these assholes. Always changing the game at the last minute. God damn it. Well, I know now. Wait, who is this even from? Do we see like from who? There's got to be like an authorization ID or something.
Yeah, it would have been from your direct superior.
What I don't understand is why I wasn't told about this beforehand.
Why didn't you check your email?
I couldn't log into my goddamn account! But even still, this is a weird way to find out.
Well, the
Between
ship's back
this-
up.
Between
Fix the
this
mechanicals. Sorry, go ahead.
and the logs, somebody knows something about this goddamn goo. Either that insect or Elena.
Not inclined to wait long enough to find out. Ship's back up once the mechanicals are fixed. Spurt will be
Okay.
back in the sky.
Yeah,
Wow.
it'll take 4 to 6 hours to get the struts repaired. But now that they have the steel, and and the others have now boarded the Chimata-no-kami, and you're all together. Do you reveal anything of what you found to Elena?
Who?
I think we should.
All of us?
Hold on. I want to quickly chat with Ezra. He'll be like, now, we're probably going to need to swing by that factory then and pick up some of those samples. Otherwise, you and I are going to get a permanent citation.
Like I care about your citations. We're not going
Wouldn't
back to
even
that
come from
factory.
me. This is from, the big boys.
Ezra will chuckle. You're on a different program, Aiko. Forget about it.
What do you think, Gideon?
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agree with you, but for a very different reason. We should go back to the plant, grab my sisters, my remaining living family, and then bomb the hell out of it and then leave.
Let me get this
Ezra
straight. You
thinks-
guys want to go back and get the goo that
I don't want to get the
Yes.
goo. I want to burn that building to the ground.
changing everybody and then bring it on board here and then leave. Is that the gist of the plan there, Aiko?
What if the company needs to develop a vaccine? We haven't even given them the chance to explain them. Clearly, it's important, and we need to bring it back.
Yeah, but what if they also want to turn it into like some sort of super weapon or something?
Yeah, look at the data logs. That's literally exactly what happened to the colony. Let's
Guys,
experiment on it. Experiment goes wrong. People die. Experiment gets canceled. It's
some eggheads in a lab will be poking it with a stick. It'll be fine, guys. Just the company wouldn't say something that wouldn't benefit the company. So I can't see there being anything wrong with it.
Do you not remember what happened when we set some quote eggheads to go and poke something weird with a stick last time we were at the plant? Because last I remember, one of them turned into some weird goo monster, and the other one melted and then got smashed by a giant ass bug.
yeah, and Gideon also was able to walk the last time we were there, and then now he's in a wheelchair. So
Yeah.
I'm not for going to, but it's group decision. I think Otmar and Mags, whenever they get here,
Oh, speaking of which, Otmar Megs, you board the ship with Elena. Elena is like eyes wide, kind of jaw dropped. She's never been this close, or let alone inside um, a spaceship before. She's soaking it all in, eyes wide and astounded.
You want to meet your new neighbor?
Neighbor?
He brings her into the mess hall, I guess, the cafeteria,
Mhm.
and it finds a place out of reach of the captain, but within earshot. And for your own protection, he'll secure her to and enlist the crew's help in securing her.
Yep. More cables are brought out, and she's tied up. And you can see Elena and Captain Lin kind of staring at each other. And Elena's
Y'all are already acquainted.
like, you. Captain Lin said, oh, love of God. And she kind of tries to turn away from Elena, but Elena's just staring daggers at her. Where do you take Andrea and Benji's body?
I think for Benji's body, if there's a medical area of the ship that might have some suitable equipment.
Yep. The med bay would have you'd be able to keep him stored there, his corpse, and Andrea will go there. Six of you are back together again. A lot more questions have been answered.
Can Ezra
Got
do some
everything you
stuff?
need. I'm sorry?
Can Ezra do some stuff? I don't want to.
Yeah.
So he'll get up from the keyboard after cracking daughter, stretch, and he'll have that encounter with Aiko where we decode Aiko's message. And we know that Wayland Yutani disabled daughter, and that was it. Dr. Volkov from the commission was the one that disabled, had to sabotage the ship in the first place. But anyway, he'll get up from his console at the bridge where he's found all this after he's been there for hours cracking away. And I guess Captain Lynn is still in the mess hall and she's tied up.
Yep.
All right, he'll stride in there, chin up, shoulders back, and walk up to her as she's tied up and says, "Were you looking for me?"
He spits in your face. Untie me,
Can't do that.
Howard.
I'm not a coward. I'm standing right here. Tell me what you need to know. South was already honest with you. We've got nothing to hide.
Fuck, what comes out of your mouth?
Very well then.
I just-
He'll turn and walk away.
Don't walk away from me, you piece of junk. I'm
keeps
gonna
walking.
rip your head off. Your white, squirty blood will be all over the ships. I'm done with you. And you can just see her like spewing off profanities and starting kicking at the table. And Elena's just kind of, what the hell's going on here? And look,
All right, I'll make this quick. He turns and walks away from Captain Lynn, goes back to the bridge, grabs his laptop, and then goes to his quarters. When he gets to his quarters, he pops open his laptop, and he looks and sees if Pereira Abrams is online.
make a contact check for me, please.
Trying to get off-world, reporting back to. Holy
Oh my
shit!
gosh.
The fuck!
Oh my
Ah,
gosh.
Like, what are the odds?
Very low. All right, so you try to reach out to him, and unfortunately, no luck.
No luck. All right, I close
They
the
might,
lid.
they might, they are probably actually out of comms range too.
All right. Well, that's good because he hasn't been reaching me, which is perfectly fine with Ezra. But now he's got news to reach him. So close the laptop lid. Back to the bridge. Back to interacting with the group.
Where you guys are all meeting in the cockpit, then just kind of gathered there.
I guess so, since some of us are already up there.
Okay.
And if
So you guys
Captain
all-
Lynn is tied up Captain Lynn's in the mess hall, right? So
Yeah.
that's not a place to chat. So I think the
Yeah.
bridge would probably be the best place for us to compare notes.
Right, so you're all there. You've deciphered the long data disk. You've captured Elena Brooks. You have in your custody Captain Lin Zhu Ying. You know about the black goo. Gideon's, your sister's missing. Jarvis is missing. There's a hooded figure out there someplace too that has your sisters.
Ezra will report that we're 4 hours away from having this bird upright. And once the mechanicals are squared away, get this thing off the ground.
Just a technical question. Does Otmar have enough time to recover health and maybe charge his devices as they're on the ship?
It depends on what you guys want to do. If you guys are going to wait until the repairs are done, then definitely yes.
Okay. Otmar would say to Ezra, "Where are we fixing to go first once we get this bird off the ground?"
My objective is to get off the planet. But I'll listen to what you guys have to say.
My objective is to throw Elena out the airlock, so I think our objectives align, Ezra.
Ezra smiles shrewdly.
Gideon?
I mean, y'all already know what I'm gonna say. I would like to get my sisters and get him away from weird, creepy stranger in a mask that's hooded. That probably is behind everything, but it's
We believe they may be at the neuroplasm facility or in that direction. Does the ship equipped for low altitude reconnaissance?
I can make it do that. Not designed for it, but I got it covered.
So what if we make one last little stop before heading up to the stars?
Ezra will nod.
Yeah, we'll grab the kids, we'll get some goo, and we'll F off this dirt rock.
we are not going to get the goo.
Yeah. What Gideon said.
Aiko, why don't you tell our friends here what you found on their long data disk?
You backwater people don't know how science works and didn't understand what this goo was, and so it's now upon me to bring it back to the company to figure out what to do with it.
Gideon's just going to tell Otmar and Mags everything that they read, just completely ignoring what Aiko said.
Well, I can think of some reasons why it'd be better to have it than not have it. But
You always were the smartest one of the crew, Otmar. You're using logic.
what makes you think it's even at the facility? Elena hid it somewhere. She's being all coy about how safe it is.
I don't know, can't we just scoop some off the ground? Get coffee cup?
That's a good point. Did we observe something black gooish when we were at the facility? I know there was a lot of weird shit there.
At the facility, yeah.
Okay.
There's like the whole bottom is kind of covered in this kind of mist, but through it all, they're wading through some stuff.
All right.
You don't think it's weird that Elena hid this so no one else would find it?
I could
Endangering
go over to the coffee mart.
the colony, and we're just gonna scoop it up in a coffee cup and
I
bring it
could-
onto the ship, surrounded by people, where said plague could spread.
Yeah, I'm with South on this one. We already saw what happened with Alex. And you're proposing us going back there, scooping it up with a fucking coffee cup, and just tootling on up the space with everyone in a very closed environment?
I must admit, I was thinking that it was a finite supply in the vials. I hadn't made the connection that anybody could just wander up to the old neuroplasm facility with a coffee cup, scoop up their own little black goop. So, yeah, I agree. I don't think we should mess with that. Let's get the kids and get out of here.
Swear to God, Aiko, if you say something, I'm gonna zap you. I swear to God.
The company will not be pleased.
The company tried to sabotage you.
And if y'all are wanting visas to get off this,
Don't you
pathetic
say it. Don't you say
Don't-
backwater.
don't.
out ranching, dirt farming,
All right, mother.
air breathers, south breathers.
I'm gonna
You're
turn
gonna
on my
be-
stun prod. I'm turning on my stun prod.
It's like powering up as I'm talking.
Yes, just slowly bringing it out.
Guys, it's simple business. We give them the goo. You guys get a passport to go on any planet you want to live on. I think that's a good thing. If we don't do this, we could get thrown in jail.
Jail's a hell of a lot better than here.
Unfortunately, I can't believe I'm about to say this. He is right. If we do want to go anywhere else, I cannot believe I'm agreeing with you.
Hey,
Aiko's
Akko.
gonna take Ezra's like coffee mug, and he's gonna like cross out Ezra, and he's gonna write sample on it. He's
Okay,
gonna
maybe
hand
we
it
put
to
it in
Sal.
something else other than a coffee cup and store it somewhere secure.
I would vote for Elena. Store it in Elena.
Hey,
Mags, you've done a lot of things that have pissed me off, but you're starting to get on my good side.
Yeah, you're starting to sound like Aiko with putting the bomb in the captain.
wait, he wanted to put a bomb in the captain?
Yeah, it was a whole thing. We didn't go through with it, thankfully.
Hey,
Now
Akko.
that I'm thinking about it, that probably also wouldn't have been a bad idea. Son of a bitch.
Hey, Akko. I just thought of something. You're always talking about how the company is just kind of wanting to help. Who's to say that they weren't the ones who started this whole mess?
Well, I'd be lying if there isn't a little bit of, let's just say, backdoor communications that might happen at the top. However, what I can tell you is this: the surest way to get a promotion is to do what your direct superior says without asking too many questions. And I can tell you right now, if we ask the wrong question, get the wrong answer, and we don't come back with that goo, I am not going to get my goddamn promotion. So come on, guys. Let's pull it together. Let's rally. We're so close to the end. I think we can do this. Come on. We can do this.
This is such a terrible fucking idea.
Salve, can I please zap him?
You know what?
Oh, you powered it up,
Maybe.
didn't you?
Hard
You powered up
maybe.
your zapper?
Yeah.
Can you make a power check for me, please, Gideon?
Oh, whoops. I hit the wrong thing.
Well, killing charge. No, you don't want that one.
No, I hit the wrong thing.
You're
Where has that been? I didn't even know.
climb up the ladder.
That would have been nice a little while ago.
On your inventory tab, you'll see your zapper item. You just click on the power number 6.
Okay.
Playing by Sith Lord rules here.
All right. So you're powering it up. You see little sparks start to jump out off the end of it, and it does drain 1 point of power from your zapper.
Gonna be so worth it. Please, just let me do it.
I'm not going to say don't do it, but I'm not going to say do it.
No killing charge is a possibility here.
I didn't even know
That's
that
brutal.
was a thing either.
Yeah.
If you do accidentally hit him and then get that, though.
I mean, would anyone miss him?
I
Be a lot less citations.
I think the stakes are feeling kind of high here, and maybe we hedge our bets. What do you think? So let's skip the coffee cup, find a secure vessel, store it with Elena somewhere, and best of both worlds, you know.
Aiko will call for Carl on the comms and see if he can get out like some sort of sterile vial, and ideally some sort of long range scooping device too, if you have that.
One of them trash scoopers.
It says, I believe we have like vials for blood samples in the med bay. Will that do?
Aiko is gonna be like, better than a coffee cup. Sure, yeah.
I can't believe we're doing this.
They're even sterile. So
Why are none of us scientists? Like,
Because you killed the one scientist that was supposed to help us.
oops.
as you guys are talking, Gideon, it's kind of crowded in here with all of you in here, and Gideon, you being in a wheelchair as well. And so you're just kind of jostling around in here, having this animated conversation. The stuffed there kind of falls off your wheelchair, Gideon.
Gideon is just gonna kind of quietly step outside of the cockpit and kind of, I guess, just meander, try and find a way to kind of sit outside and get some fresh air for a little bit.
Yeah, you can you're again, you're wheeling yourself out and down the ramp, and you can see Ezra's crew busy uh, propping up the shuttle and working on the struts beneath it, hammering away. You hear the sound of torches going as they make the repairs. But yeah, you managed to find some solitude out there.
And it's, I guess, kind of what's going through his head is he's torn. A large part of him immediately wants to go and take care of this and then get out of here, but he also knows there's not much he can do right now, so he's torn, kind of almost kind of like stuck between those two kind of things. And so I guess while he's sitting there, he's just gonna kind of, I guess, try and like center himself and try and not blow up at the next thing.
Can you make an observation check for me, please, Gideon?
Okay.
As you kind of wheel your way as much as you can anyway in this dirt and sandy terrain in your chair, and you hold the teddy bear in your hands and you look in the general direction to where your sisters have gone, and you are reflecting on this, and you see the kind of their tracks leading off into the distance. You notice movement on the horizon, something white, large, and with that extra success, I'll say that you're able to make it out, and it looks like Jarvis, but he's a good distance away, and this is like a long, flat, like grasslands. He's probably at least a good mile away.
Is he, can I tell kind of what direction he's going? Or is it just kind of a little speck in the distance?
Looks like he's kind of going parallel to your ship. He's not coming towards you or moving further away. He's just kind of moving from left to right.
Okay. Can I run back in and just kind of quietly grab Otmar and bring him out so I can show him?
Yeah.
Like, hey, Otmar.
Well, I'll be. Look at him. His ears flopping. He's going so fast.
Can you make an observation check for me, please? Okay. I'm going to say that even with the stress, you are able to see something because of it. And this is what causes your stress. Because when you see Jarvis's silhouette kind of in the distance, you notice something strange. The shape of his head is a little different. The kind of the movement of his body looks a little odd.
Oh, those ain't ears. Oh, hell, I don't even know if that's Jarvis. Look. You see? Look at the head.
That looks a little bit like what Aiko looked like, didn't it? I mean, not Aiko, Alex.
I think Jarvis might be changing too. Oh, that's no good. There was that trail, remember? Back at the pen. I guess there was some black goo back there.
Shit.
Now
That
we
means
know
he's
what
probably
to look
infected
for.
too.
Yeah. We gotta get out of here, Gideon.
This might be a bad idea, but wouldn't it be a little less time consuming if, while they're working on the ship, some people go out to the plant and then we come back and then leave?
I thought we did the math and it would be faster to fly there.
Oh.
It was close. But we can ask the team.
Yeah. Should we tell him about Jarvis?
Yeah, probably should.
Swear to God, I'm gonna hear an "I told you so" from Echo.
So yeah, so we would go back inside, and Otmar and Gideon would say, "All right, we got some news. Gather around." So we could see in the distance. We could see Jarvis roaming across the grasslands, except for wasn't Jarvis no more. No, like some kind of alien Jarvis.
Yeah, so now we got a giant, angry, infected harvester on the loose now.
Yeah,
This
it's
is the
about the
stuff
size
we
of
bring
it.
on the ship.
Ezra will hit the Comtech. Carl, status on the mechanicals.
Poor Carl.
Who wants to roll a heavy machinery check for the crew to see how repairs are going? Ezra, since you're captain of the ship, I'll let you roll, actually.
Oh, Lord. What am
Go
I
ahead
rolling?
and roll.
Heavy what?
Roll 96.
Oh, 96. Okay. Good. I'm not rolling my mechanicals.
1, 2, 3 successes. So yeah, they're making really good time. They probably get the ship up and running in a couple of hours.
Get it done in under 1, Carl. We need to get this bird off the ground.
I was thinking of making a Scotty reference there, but no, I won't do it.
Give it all she's got.
All right.
You got 1 hour, Carl.
On it, sir. You do have sensors on this ship if you want. You can probably use those if you like, if you want to make a contact check to see what's out there.
Is the metal work being done on struts outside the ship, or are they doing the work on landing gear inside the ship?
Outside mainly.
That's what I thought. Yeah. Okay. All right. And what, I can use long range sensors for movement or thermo kind of thing. All right.
Yep. Gosh. Got one success. You managed to track through your ship sensors a massive object moving on your starboard side. And that is Jarvis. You zone in on it with your sensors, your infrared, and you can have cameras out there that kind of swing out and catch him. And you can see him moving. And I'll just show you what it looks like.
I'll swivel the monitor so everybody can see it.
There he is. There's Jarvis in all his glory.
Looks like that baby hippopotamus.
That is the most terrifying thing I have ever seen. I hate it.
This looks very different than I remember.
Is that Moo Dang? It's really cute.
Yeah. So that's what comes up on your screen. And he's moving roughly parallel to you, but then he kind of changes direction and he's starting to move away from you towards the direction of the neuroplasm plant. And he's moving fast with all those big legs of his.
Dude, did Carl ever make the bomb?
Carl made the bomb.
Carl made the bomb.
I think we finally may have found something to put that bomb inside of, Ico.
Well, hold on. Yeah, I actually have no fucking idea how to handle that thing. Maybe we may need to blow it up.
Blow up the whole plant.
Both.
I mean, Otmar, we don't even really have anything that could take Jarvis down on a good day.
No, we can hardly hope to contain him.
Otmar, do you know if he ate some of that black goo, or did he just get it on his skin?
We don't know. There was evidence of it in the pen, so it got on his skin. Whether it came out of his body, or you don't know. He'll eat anything, so it's only a matter of time, really.
But what about Alex? Surely to God, Alex wouldn't have just ate it, right? I mean,
I think maybe it's touch because Alex went down to where those weird egg thingies were, but he didn't. It didn't look like he ate
tested.
anything.
That's true. Maybe it's different for humans and harvesters, or maybe there's similarities. I ain't no doctor.
I know you said an hour is right, but can we please go a little faster?
Also, what are his favorite snacks?
There was a couple times where it was nearly me, but I
Because
mean,
if we could get him to eat something with this bomb,
Harvesters are used to find metal deposits. So they'll grind through stone ores and that stuff. So
Yeah, he's a vegan. He likes that kind of thing.
technically the bomb is metal.
after an hour, Carl comes back over the comms and says, Captain, we did it. The struts are repaired. You
All right.
guys can all heal up.
Back to the bridge, ready for takeoff.
So all your stress is gone. All your stress is back down to 0. You're no longer panicked.
I always need to actually turn on panic in order to get rid of the.
Yeah, you have to put it to 0 before you remove panic.
And then for stress, are we keeping the stress the same, or are we dropping that too?
Stress is down to 0.
As we head into the most stressful situation.
Yeah, you guys are going to need it. All right, so
I don't know, man. We got New Hope. I would say stress is at an all-time low. Ship is ready to. The ship is ready to go. Daughter's operational. We're ready to take off. This is the.
all right.
yeah, it'll just be a quick
This is
in
the
and
best
out.
we've been in a long time.
It'll just be a quick in and out, easy peasy. Nothing bad will happen.
Ezra, you're back in the pilot seat. The ship is righted. The engines ignite, and you just hear the purring of those thrusters. Slight vibration
All right,
resonating through the ship.
got my hand on the 2 thrusters. I turn back and I look at my companions and say, "Ready to roll?"
Punch it.
And where we're going? The factory?
Yes, please.
Yeah, we're looking for Gideon's family. So we want the sensors tuned to look for vehicle tracks and human motion.
Gideon, man the sensors. And I'll pull up a chair next to me and show him how to man the sensors.
Oh hell
Does-
yeah!
Does this have any weapons on it?
And then
On the ship?
if Synth can get emotional, you'll see Ezra get a little choked up as he thinks about Benji as the ship takes off.
Right, with the ship, after a very difficult time at Baxter's Reach, and some refugees now on board, and apparently manning the sensors, and now you lift off and head towards the neuroplasm plant.
Yep, low altitude, just kind of gliding across
Alright.
the plains.
This will not require a piloting check. This is pretty routine. It's like
Okay.
driving a car, not a problem for you. Gideon, I will ask you to make a ComTech check though, because you don't know what sensors are. You're just randomly pushing buttons.
I have no idea what I'm doing, but it's worked out for me so far.
Ah,
All right. So you can't see what's going on. You don't know which buttons to push. You don't know how to read the displays.
Just gonna pretend like I know what's going on. Like,
I pulled up a chair
mhm.
next to me. I'm coaching him a little bit. I'm showing.
All right.
him
Oh,
the ropes a
okay. So
little
roll
bit.
an extra d6. Go ahead and roll an
Okay.
extra d6.
Got this, Gideon. Come on.
I can do this. I got this. God damn it!
Aw.
The machine that goes ping.
All
Yeah.
right. So you're flying low over these grasslands, heading towards the neuroplasm plant. Uh, at this speed and this cruising kind of speed, you'll probably get there in an hour tops. Um, and roughly maybe 20 minutes into the flight, you see below you charging full speed towards the neuroplasm plant. Jarvis.
Shit. Ezra
Oh
guns
my
it.
big.
Does the ship have any guns on it?
No, this is a peaceful delegation
Science
ship.
ship,
This is
yeah.
a science
Yeah,
ship.
it's like a
I
drop
mean,
ship.
I just had to ask.
You never
Ezra
Maybe there
will,
was
know.
something stowed away. I don't know.
They
I
should
mean,
have.
look at
Ezra-
that thing. Can you blame me for asking?
He'll drop the hammer and pedal to the metal.
What if we land on top of it?
Got
I-
a damaged ship.
From experience, he'll know and he'll get very mad.
So Ezra, are you trying to put a little extra juice into
All
the
the extra,
engines?
yeah. Pedal
Okay,
to the
go.
metal. We
I,
got it.
I
We
will
got to be.
require a piloting
keep 'em up.
check then.
All right, and I have a feature called full throttle. You like to go fast, really fast. When piloting a spacecraft, you get a +2 modifier for piloting rolls to accelerate or decelerate.
Just to clarify that, are you literally sitting and like driving this thing like a stick shift? You're pedaling, you're pushing down on the gas to drive this.
Still only one success, but I got one.
That's good enough. So you all kind of feel the G forces like pushing against your chest and bodies as Ezra just guns it. And what would have taken you an hour to get there is now like half an hour. Um, I will require another contact check. See anything?
Okay. Second time
Because
lucky.
you've actually lost the trail. There's you don't see any trace of like tire tracks or anything. Lost it all.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. As you approach the neuroplasm plant, it seems the same that as you left it. Um, um, but oops, sorry, Benji.
R.I.P.
But it seems quiet, deserted. There's no sign of beetles anymore. And you do see the tire tracks of a vehicle and a little what looks to be a ping on the very far reaches of your radar. Vehicle is not here. It's moved on past this.
So there's
South.
nobody in the plant?
You're not getting any infra readings off the plant. No.
Okay.
South. You being a prospector and having roamed these grasslands extensively in Ophelia while you're trying to find riches, prospect, and lay your claim, you kind of have an idea as to where the tire tracks are going. There is a mountain range roughly 100 kilometers west of Baxter's Reach. And this, if it hasn't already for yourself twigged, there was an entry, the long data disc of the prospector who said he found a black goo about 100 kilometers west of Baxter's Reach.
I'm not gonna say I have a bad feeling about this, but if those tracks are headed where I think they're headed, we may have a big problem. That goo, I think that's where they were getting it from.
So you're saying this guy's going to where the goo is, essentially.
Going back to where it all started.
Okay. Okay.
Igo's gonna lean over Gideon's screen. Did you find your sisters there?
You can stun them if you. I would let you do it this
Oh,
time.
thank God. No, they're not here. They are further on, as South said, where all the original goo, I guess, came from.
Yeah, I was trying to clarify if like we could see that like actually on this. Whatever.
Oh.
Gideon, what do you think we should do?
I mean, I'm all for going and get him and then getting out of here.
Why would Frank bring him there?
We got a name now, huh? Frank?
And
I guess. Go ahead, sorry.
I mean, I got an idea why he would take him, and I really, 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 really don't want to think about it.
And I guess Otmar, if I'm remembering correctly, I may be misremembering. But everybody knows about the hooded guy, right? We saw him on the camera.
Right.
Okay.
And then the data disk, we theorized that was the hooded figure, the guy,
Yeah.
Frank. Yeah.
Well, I think I'm pretty sure that hooded figure we've been seeing is Frank, and I don't know if maybe he's keeping the goo here, maybe he's experimenting on it, or I don't know. But either way, I really don't like taking two kids to where it all started. That something, I don't know.
Well, they ain't here. Jarvis is coming this way, so Ezra, you get us a motion?
Yep. Are we hovering? Are we moving? Where are we going?
Let's not hover. I'm worried it's too obvious.
I'm not landing it. Where should we go?
Just go in a circle while we discuss it.
All right. I'll pull it up to high altitude.
Gideon. Go ahead.
I was just going to say, from this vantage point, let's say, I don't know, how high do you want to go? Like 10,000, 15,000 feet? Or
Yeah, airplane. Yeah,
Okay,
airplane
mode.
Yeah.
All right. So you got
Holding pattern.
from this altitude, you can kind of see like your view of the horizon extends quite far now, and you can see off in the distance to the west a mountain range. That's where the tracks seem to lead.
Don't head straight there, but maybe westerly direction.
Could we get a high enough altitude where we could still see it on the cameras or on the scanners? Maybe zoom in, see what we can see down there.
Just don't be too obvious.
Well, the more time we waste, the more chances Jarvis is going to beat us there.
It's truly fascinating seeing how democratic decisions are made. Watching you all flail. Who is running this ship?
Sal's going to look at Ezra since he's piloting it.
Not Echo.
Ezra doesn't dignify that. Quick,
Depends on who you
any
ask.
sort of reaction.
I find we're a consensus-driven organization.
Ezra will turn back off. He's driving. He turns back and says, "Mags, aren't there drinks you should be serving?" And he goes back to driving.
Touche.
I mean, I'm just all for going there, getting them and getting out as fast as possible, because I feel like the longer we sit and talk, the more chances that something bad's going to happen.
Aiko will lean over to Mags and be like, I could use some coffee.
I say Gideon, and I know you really want your sisters, but I think me, Otmar, Mags, definitely not Ico because he'll just panic and run. Ezra, keep the engines warm. Maybe small team, in and out. Maybe try to. Well, I'm assuming we don't have a bunch of extra firearms. Maybe take someone from the crew. Anyone who's good with a gun.
Don't you worry, South. I brought you this. She'll hand him the one. I heard you need it. Try to keep a
add that to your
close
inventory.
grip this time.
Thanks, Max. And again, I owe you one. Just add it to my tab.
I'm willing to go down one more time, but Gideon, I think you need to prepare yourself. You gotta start preparing for the worst and hoping for the best. And you know what the worst is?
Yes, but I'm not gonna say anything.
I promise you we'll try to get him out of there.
You mean it?
Of course. Your family's our family. We're all family. Any family of yours is family of ours. We're going to get him.
Gideon, I need to say this. If they're changed, we're gonna have to go.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. They're gonna be fine.
You need to be prepared for that. Every one of you needs to be prepared for that.
So who's gonna tell our Uber driver to go? As she looks at Ezra.
Mags is standing behind them, so Ezra guns the gas a little bit to get Mags to stumble.
Nice.
All
I
right.
like your style, pilot.
So the SEV Chimata-no-kami screams across the grasslands heading westward towards the mountains. And as these crazy day-night cycles churn above you, it takes you the better part of a day and a half, Baxter's reach time, to get to the edge of the mountain, where you see a large, massive ridge kind of rise up from the grasslands. You can see waterfalls kind of falling down from it, mountain ranges, uh, and you can see the Jeep parked at the bottom of this ridge. And you can make out like a small set of staircases, like zigzagging their way up the cliff wall to the valley above. And this is what you see. You arrive, and you're still airborne, so you can fly over the ridge, and you see this valley with these strange mounds arranged in almost circular fashion, rivulets from waterfalls and streams streaming down from the mountains, and they're all kind of emptying into this massive hole in the middle.
Ezra will look to the locals and say, "You ever seen this before?"
I
I
don't think
heard stories about it being a prospector, but everybody said it was just an old mine. It was mined empty.
I've never been out this far.
No reason to ever be in a hellish place like this. Get down there.
Well, whatever's down there, Kyle Thorne apparently found the goo down there, which might explain why everybody just said it was empty. They didn't want anybody poking around it.
Let's go poke around it then. Bring it down.
Ezra finds a spot, flat spot. I'm trying to get a feel for the scale of this. How wide is that hole, and how big are those mounds? Is there a place to set the ship down outside of this Stonehenge circle here?
Your Chimata-no-kami, your entire SEV, it easily fits in that hole.
Oh, okay. All right.
So we could just go down in the ship.
I'm not putting my ship in that.
Fair enough.
To be fair, though, how else are we supposed to get down there?
Can we drop a line?
Gideon, are you still on the on this scanner?
I would say so, yeah. Like he's frantically looking to see if he could see anything.
All right, go ahead and make a contact check.
All right.
Yeah, Gideon.
So you're all kind of craning your necks and looking out the window at this strange formation in the bowl valley, surrounded by mountains, on top of a ridge, no less. And you hear a little kind of like a beep coming from the console in front of you, Gideon, and you look down and you see this strange reading, and take a second look at it, and you realize what the sensor readings are telling you is that there is a massive, massive structure beneath the surface.
I don't know how to put this, but there's something down there. I think we might have to fly down. Whatever it is, it's big.
What are the thermals?
Which the thermals, aside from the greenery and the life here, there's no sign of the sisters or this hooded brown figure.
Or Jarvis? Or something like Jarvis?
Jarvis is still on its way to the nearest plasma plant. Hasn't made
Yeah.
it there yet.
Okay.
I don't see anything. I don't see any other way to get down there.
All right. Ezra will look back. Are we going in?
Guess we don't have a
Didn't-
choice, right?
Didn't say I can't. I just said I didn't want to.
It's getting worse and worse.
All right. Ezra will maneuver the ship into the hole.
I don't like this one bit.
I need you to make a piloting check, Ezra. All right. So you ease off the engines as you position the SEV directly above the hull, point the thrusters directly down, and slowly descend. Now, when I say it can easily fit in here, I'm saying, I don't know if you guys can see my ruler. Can you guys see my ruler?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
So
can
the
see it.
Chimata-no-kami is about that big in relation to the hull.
Okay.
So it's not that crazy. So you
Okay.
start to descend, and all around you, you can see water kind of pouring into this hole around you. And you can't descend more than maybe 50 feet before the vegetation gets too dense at the bottom of this depression. There's vines and roots and vegetation, and it would be hazardous to try it and descend any further. And you cannot land, or you can try to land on it, but it's going to be very difficult. It's not even ground.
I'll rotate the ship 360 in the hole.
Okay.
Any different environments or horizontal underground caverns or anything? Or is it just a hole that goes straight down with
It's
vegetation?
just a hole. It's maybe 100 feet deep in total. You can maybe go halfway down before vegetation gets too thick for you to go any further.
Right.
Gideon, go ahead and make another contact check. All right. You point your scanners and the cameras directly beneath the ship towards the bottom, and you can see through the vegetation what looks to be like an iris valve, like the aperture of a camera, how it kind of turns and shuts closed. See some metal pieces or of a gate of some sort of portal that is mostly closed, but not completely. And there's a small black hole in the middle of it leading down.
One might even say a sphincter. And what's the diameter of that, of the whole opening, and then what's the diameter that remains open?
That is too small for your ship to pass through. So your ship would probably be, your ship would be about that, like that.
Okay, if it was fully open, we could make it through. In its
Yeah.
current state, we can't.
Yeah, correct.
All right. All right, just hovering above the vegetation, holding pattern. Gideon's crushing the Comtech.
Is there a spot to put her down?
I don't know what I'd be landing on.
All right,
My guess is swamp.
you could drop us down with the line, but we should have some rules about how long we're going to spend here. I mean, this might take days.
There are suits in the back. Yes, you put those on. What do you want, Otmar? An hour?
Hour at the most. Seems fair.
Say an hour. You don't hear from us within an hour. Assume the worst.
Ezra will nod stoically.
Can we get a zapper recharge for either of the zappers?
Yep. Your zappers are fully charged.
All right.
Yay.
I don't know if we can do that ourselves. I don't
I
want.
think you might have to go into edit mode for your zappers.
All right. I see that. Thank you.
All right. So, Ezra, are you going to just hover over this and lower like a repelling line?
Landing party repelling line, yeah. I mean, I'm
Right.
going to hold the ship steady, and I'll try to keep it here for an hour, or I'll exit the hole and then circle for an hour and then come back in. TBD, but let's get the landing party off the ship safely first. Carl, ready an expeditionary crew. Prep the locals. They'll know what to do.
Okay. He looks a little horrified first that you were going to send him down, but then when he said, set the locals up, he says, "All right, not a problem." And we'll pick up there next time.
The drop party. All right.
The drop party. I love it.
All right. Thanks, guys. I'll stop the stream. So, thanks for watching, guys. Bye.